risk and poverty in a changing climate. Invest today for a safer tomorrow. The rising population in areas prone to natural hazards has left billions more people exposed to the risk of disaster. Disaster risk is concentrated and uneven. Tropical cyclones are 200 times more deadly in low-income countries than high-income countries.
সকালবেলা আমার ভলান্টিয়ার আমাকে বলেন দাদা চলেন লাশ দেখতে দেব আমি বললাম আমি লাশ দেখব কেন আমি তো জীবিত মানুষ দেখতে চেয়েছিলাম
3/4 of the people most at risk from dying in floods are in just 3 countries: Bangladesh, China and India. Relative to the size of their GNP, the Middle East and North Africa are at greatest risk of damage to their economy in the case of earthquakes. Approximately 1 billion people now live in informal settlements in developing countries' cities. Many of these are in hazard-prone areas. Poor rural households depend on rainfall for agriculture and are vulnerable to any seasonal variations. Poor access to markets, unhelpful trade policies, and lack of infrastructure compound the problem. In Madagascar, tropical cyclones hit the poorest farmers hardest, slashing agricultural production by 11%, compared with 6% in the better-off households.
Alors qu'on se trouvait dans la saison des pluies, il y a eu un éboulement de terrain ici qui s'est produit dans la nuit et il y avait à peu près une quinzaine ou une vingtaine de personnes. On n'a pas retrouvé en fait l'intégralité des corps. La direction de la protection civile avait demandé au gouvernement de procéder à l'évacuation, à la destruction de ces maisons, mais ce sont des dispositions qui n'ont pas été suivies.
In Pakistan, over 17,000 children perished in schools destroyed by the 2005 earthquake. Over 80% of schools in Pakistan still have no protection from similar risks. In the US, the impact of Hurricane Katrina was far worse in part because of the drainage of 4,800 kilometers square of wetlands in the Mississippi Delta.
This used to be wetlands. And what is it now? This is just storm surges come straight across it. You know, you could say it's like a 4-lane highway for a storm surge.
In Asia and Latin America, 97% of municipal disaster loss reports are due to weather-related hazards, such as floods, storms and landslides. Climate change means more frequent, wider-reaching and more severe hazards, which are harder to predict. Bahrain is the 5th most exposed country in the world to rising sea level, with 75% of its urban population living at less than 10 meters above sea level. The disaster risk poverty vicious circle is turbocharged by climate change. Disaster preparedness and early warnings save lives. Local innovative initiatives help, upgrading squatter settlements, strengthening rural livelihoods, protecting ecosystems.
In every disaster, there is a huge opportunity to change the mistakes you have made in the past and an opportunity to move ahead.
There is a gap between international commitments and local good practice. This is the missing link that could transform the vicious circle into a virtuous circle. Reducing disaster risk will reduce poverty, safeguard development, and help adapt to climate change with benefits for global security, stability, and sustainability. We know what to do. Invest today for a safer tomorrow.